we're gonna be a little bit cozy today. You saw the news. Iron Man is now Dr. Doom. What do I think about this? It could work. I could make a whole video on that, but today we're talking about specifically Victor Von Doom. First appearing in Fantastic Four issue 5, July 1962, damn he's old, by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Dr. Victor Warner Von Doom was a fan favorite. He was featured in the 97 Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Yes!
Fantastic Four 2005, along with the sequel in 2007, Fan Four Stick, along with many animated appearances. Dr. Doom in the comics is arch nemesis of Fantastic Four, and he has a main focus to restore humanity by becoming supreme leader of Earth. Supervillain shit. Though he is a prime figure in the Fantastic Four comics, he also has had many encounters with other heroes across the Marvel franchise. Basically everybody. If you can name them, Dr. Doom has probably fought them. Though he seeks to take over the world, he has also been seen as an anti-hero or even a godlike figure. Doom has been ranked as the greatest villain in Marvel by many sources, including IGN, and will be portrayed by the same person who played one of, if not the best superhero in Marvel. And boy is it turning heads alright. Death is commonly connected with armor and inhuman-like steel, says co-creator Jack Kirby, and death is something without mercy, and human flesh contains that element of mercy. Therefore, I had to erase it, and I did it with a mask. Creepy shit to say. Jack Kirby, you alright, man? Everything good, man? In a
Romani
camp outside of fictional country Lavaria, Cynthia Von Doom, a witch, gave birth to her child, Victor. In the hands of an extra-dimensional demon named Mephisto, Cynthia was killed. Victor's father, Warner, tried to aid Cynthia given his duty as the leader of the tribe and past in medicine, but was unfortunately unable to. This background also had an impact on Victor, showing him in his early life the ways of a leader. Warner was called to the task of helping another sick woman in the capital. When Warner was unable to cure the lady, he was charged with murder by the Baron, leading to his death. But since he predicted this outcome, he took Victor and fled town. Unfortunately, Warner gave Victor his garments of warmth, as the night was cold, and he died by the mountainside due to harsh environments. Victor, however, survived and traveled back to the camp, discovering his mother's occult tools and seeking revenge on the Baron for his decisions on his father. Over the years, Victor became a brilliant man. With his knowledge of sorcery and tech, he made many devices that aided him while defending from the Baron's men and protecting the Roma people. Empire State University saw Victor's creations and sent someone to visit him in person. When the person arrived, they offered Victor the chance to study at ESU, and he accepted. Upon arrival at ESU, Victor would meet Reed Richards, the man who becomes Mr. Fantastic, Pedro Pascal. Reed and Victor would always debate on esoteric theories. Nerds! No, they were both geniuses, and that doesn't go well when they're constantly trying to one-up each other. Victor, at his time at ESU, focused on a machine that would speak to the dead, kind of like an Ouija board that actually worked. He sought after speaking to his mother. Richards tried to warn Victor of the flaws in his machine. Victor, being stubborn, continued with his plans and eventually got scarred in the face due to an explosion erupting from the creation. Later, we find out that this machine didn't fail by the hands of Victor, but rather Ben Grimm, who later becomes the Thing. You know, the John Carpenter movie. Nice going, Ben. This guy may or may not become a villain in the future, so watch out. Apparently, Ben didn't like Victor's superior attitude, maybe resulting from his father being a leader and his mother being a sorcerer. Ben later on is shown blaming himself for Victor becoming Doom, which, you know, I'm not going to point fingers, but Victor gets expelled for this scheme, and this leads to him traveling the world. That is, until he smacks the ground in Tibetan? On a mountainside. Also like his dad. Like father, like son. But this time, he gets saved by some monks by a close-by area. Victor trained with these monks and was taught their ways of discipline, eventually becoming a leader of the monks. One hell of a promotion. During this time, Victor forged himself a suit of armor and an iron mask. Eager to try it on and see how the glove fits, or mask, I suppose in this case, he forgets one important thing. You gotta let the mask cool down long enough, thus leaving the mask burnt to his face and unable to come off. I'm no scientist, but I'm not too sure if that's how it would work. But Who knows? Victor is now Dr. Doom. Fueled with hatred and revenge, he sought out to menace those who he deems responsible for the tragedy, this being mainly Reed Richards, even though he was trying to help Victor in the first place. Doom also formed a revolution to overthrow the Barons since he wanted the benefits of Roma. With the success of this conquest and the benefits of Roma, he further tried to push the agenda to overthrow more governments. Eventually, over time, the Fantastic Four forms. That's funny to say. The Fantastic Four forms, and they intervene, leading to years and years of battles with many foes. Over time, Doom mastered many abilities, including, get comfortable for this one, magic from his mother, and other lost dark arts by traveling through time from people like Morgan Le Fay, or Morgan Le Fay, I don't know. Shit. Hey man, I'm gonna mispronounce a lot of things in this video. He got so good at it that once Doctor Strange eventually stepped down as the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth, Dr. Doom was a candidate to replace him. Doom also learned from the Hazareth 3, a group of demons that grant powers from sacrifices. These powers include mystical blasts, force fields, invoke entities, cast spells, spell reversing, summoning, teleportation, dimension traveling, including Dreamtime, which also, hilarious name, Dreamtime, aww. Mystical trapping, which is actually what my plug has on his resume, portals, healing, banishment, time travel, power absorption, elemental manipulation, which, side note, he can literally cause a blizzard in seconds, telekinesis, and power nullification. Want to use your powers on Dr. Doom? Nice try. Doom also has psychic abilities due to his time with aliens and mutants across the galaxy, including the Marquise of Death and the Ovoids. Psychic abilities like mind transference, one he has demonstrated with the Human Torch before. Once you look Doom in the eyes, he can basically transfer his mind to yours and borrow you for a sec. He doesn't do this that often though, because he has stated in the past that he prefers his body and only uses it when it's a last resort. Hypnotism, obviously, because of course he could do that, and the ability to control machines technology. Doom also has super genius intelligence, which is debatably more scarier than the fact of him just having all these powers. It's not like he was gifted these powers and he just doesn't know how to use it when the time calls. Like, he won't get caught up in a battle and not really know what to do because he's more powerful than shit and smarter than piss. He also has made Doom bots that are basically clones of him that some even believe that they are the real Dr. Doom. He can obviously control these too. He is admired by Tony Stark in his electrical and mechanical engineer capabilities, has extensive knowledge on parallel universes, and has practiced neurosurgery, even completing the task of separating Hulk from Bruce Banner. What the hell? This guy is the definition of plot armor. He mastered martial arts, peak human conditioning, and is a well-liked character due to his charisma and leadership tactics. Also could be a feature of why Robert Downey Jr. is playing him. I'm just saying. He is a skilled politician and strategist, and he even has led multiple teams, including the Fantastic Four. Which, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but the Fantastic Four didn't like him forever. That's not even all of his powers, but you get the gist. He's him. His only weakness is himself. Doom's ego has caused him to fail multiple times. One time, Spider-Man told Dr. Doom that Reed Richards couldn't figure out a problem with a certain task, and that got in his head. So he started working on it. If he feels like his superiority is challenged, then he will face it. You also have to remember, since I have yet to cover everything about Doom, he didn't just wake up with all these powers. He spent years training and learning. Doom was focused on taking over the world, and after doing that by conquest to conquest, he eventually got the United Nations and every government to name him as Emperor by hypnotically telling them that that's just how it's gonna be. But he didn't have any satisfaction with this victory because, well, there was no challenge. So how did he lose control? Well, a hero by the name of Wonder Man was immune to his mind control abilities and saved the people of the United Nation by breaking the Psychoprism, an artifact that allowed Doom to have access to everybody's mind. But Doom allowed it. He didn't like the simple win. Another tale is that Genghis, or maybe Genghis? Genghis? Genghis actually sounds kind of right. One of the most powerful and first sorcerers of humanity held a tournament to find the Sorcerer Supreme. Doctor Strange won and was obligated to help the runner-up with whatever task they request. Ideally, this would probably be for like sportsmanship reasons. Dr. Doom asked Doctor Strange to do something that he's been wanting to complete for years: save his mother. Cynthia was so disgusted at Doom's outcome in life that she eventually got freed from hell and sent to heaven until Strange freed her. Strange asked Doom if he was aware of the likeliness of the response his mother warranted, as Doom replied that his mother's hatred was a price he was willing to pay to ensure her freedom. The man's got heart, I gotta tell you. There are many stories about Doom and his journeys on learning all these abilities and talking to multiple entities and what have you. But we'd be here for hours. I think what makes Doom such a powerful and fun villain is that he can be the worst and pure evil, or he can be a helping hand and understand what the good thing is to do. Doom, for instance, wanted to show Reed Richards that he can be a hero, and he became Iron Man when Tony Stark fell into a coma. Doom is a genius that has spent years time traveling and conquering all these abilities regardless of the cost. In some stories, he is a pure villain. Some stories, he's a man of reason. It really just depends on what you're reading. After combining remains of different worlds throughout the multiverse, empowered by the at the time enslaved Molecule Man, and stealing the power of the Beyonders, Dr. Doom even becomes God Emperor Doom, ruler of Battleworld. He just has a hell of a story that never really has a true end. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't excited to see what they do with the character in the MCU, and I trust that they will make a great storyline around him. I feel like RDJ was casted for a reason, and we will soon know why.
Yes!